is ATL Day Ones, part of Locked On Sports Atlanta. And it starts now.
It is ATL Day Ones with Jarvis and Tenitra. We want to say thank you for making ATL Day Ones your first listen of the day. And remember, we're free and available wherever you download your podcast. And wherever you download your podcast, make sure that you leave us a 5-star review. That's why I said five times, make sure. Because so you can understand where I'm coming from. Because if you don't, I don't even want to talk about what I'm going to do to you. But, I desperately want to talk about what we have going on today. I think Kyle Wright may have put himself in that Cy Young conversation. We'll talk about that along with Max Fried. And Arthur Smith has some very interesting comments, T. And I think he's trying to tell us something. And last but not least, and for the culture, I hate hot Atlanta. We'll talk about that. Before we get there, we have to talk about the Braves. Yesterday, they got a chance to go ahead and sweep the Pirates, not only for this particular series, but for the entire season. I'm talking about 7 games worth. Absolutely love it. Beat the dog mess out of bad teams. That's what you're supposed to do really good. And I think that with Cal, on display tonight, T, and then run support, 14-2 was the final score. And you get Matt Olson hitting the grand slam. I think everything was just working last night.
And go ahead and just make some history, why don't you, Matt Olson? Your own personal history, because that's the very first time that he has ever played in that particular stadium or in Pittsburgh. And boy, oh boy, did he ever make it work for himself. So yeah, that was a beautiful thing to see him just get that barrage going, and for the Braves just to say, of course, you had William Contreras kind of kick it off early, but in that particular inning, that 4th inning, if you will, 5 runs, and then they go later on, I believe it was the 8th inning with 7 runs. It's just the craziness of it.
Yep.
But that goes to, like you said, this is a reminder that when you need to take care of business with these types of teams, go ahead and just do what you need to do and keep it moving. And that's exactly what we saw from the Braves last night, and also from Kyle Wright. Amazing performance, like lights out. Just like we said the night before, Max Fried could have gone for a complete game. Kyle Wright probably could have gone for a complete game as well last night. But yeah, just amazing to see what he's been doing, not just last night, but this entire season.
Now, according to ESPN, T, they got their little rankings as far as Cy Young predictors in the National League. So right there, sitting at number 2 with the second best odds in the National League, Kyle Wright. He had 16-5, and I think that one of the things that I would just kind of looking at the numbers is going to be really hard for the voters to kind of not to go ahead and vote, give him the nod to get that Cy Young, because we're looking at probably like 36 games left in the season. That kind of roughly, I did a little math, and that roughly ends up being maybe about between 6 or 7 starts for Kyle Wright if they remain on the 5-man rotation. Right. So that's plenty of opportunities to go ahead and get that 20 games. So I think the way he's pitched, like you said, and it was just masterful. Like, he was just mowing cats down like left and right, and you just look at has like 144 strikeouts on the season. The number 1 guy for the Dodgers is Tony Gosselin.
Right.
If you're just looking at the numbers and everything, just from a dominant standpoint, Al really has a good shot at getting this bad boy.
Yeah, I think so as well. And when you look at the fact that he literally had it was crazy. Like, he would pitch 3 times and you look up and it's like, oh, okay, that guy's out. Okay, then he pitches three more times and that guy's out. And before you know it, he's getting 21 outs with 71 pitches.
Ridiculous.
That just defies logic.
Right.
It just defies logic straight up. And I hate that, there were even, and this is me being greedy, of course, but I hate that there were even 2 runs given to the Pirates last night.
Right.
Don't even, just keep your foot on their necks completely. And I would have loved to have seen Kyle Wright go for the complete game. But we always talk about Brian Snitker seeing strategy and playing the long game. And I'm sure that's what that was about, especially because this is a Kyle Wright who's coming off of a nice break after that Red Sox series, right? Give his
Right.
arm a couple breaks, a little bit of a break because there were, just a couple days needed there because not so much soreness, but really just letting that arm rest as you look forward to the postseason. But yeah, man, he and Tony Gonsolin is like neck and neck as far as the actual, as far as some of the stats. But when you look at strikeouts, interesting. Kyle Wright has more, 144 strikeouts. Literally, the closest to him in strikeouts would be Sandy Alcantara, another viable candidate.
Definitely.
Yes. And
For
Max
that bad
Fried,
team he plays for,
our
yeah.
other guy. So isn't
Yes.
that interesting that two of the top three pitchers as far as striking out batters reside right here on the Braves team, and Kyle Wright is right up there. One more thing that was interesting to tell you how powerful that performance was last night. When Jarvis and I started looking at these numbers yesterday because we wanted to see where Max Fried was, and we said, oh, wow, we see Kyle Wright, of course, there, and Kenley Jansen was there as well. But yesterday, Kyle Wright was about in the middle of the pack of the top 10 as far as the ESPN kind of StatCast, if you will.
Right.
Kyle
I think
Wright's
it's like
number 2
6.
now.
Yeah. It's like, oh yeah, they saw what we saw last night. That's for sure. And I think that it's going to be interesting to see how this thing kind of plays out. But
Yes.
also been interesting as far as how this Deion Jones is going to situation is going to change, play out for the Atlanta Falcons. But before we get there, tell them how the people can they maybe put some not Kyle Wright or Max Fried and can get a good make some good money for BetOnline.net.
Yeah, you definitely can because listen, they're in the top 10 as you see. Kyle Wright is trending up as the potential Cy Young winner for the National League this year. So if you want to bet and you want to see how close, how the odds are changing, how the over under is, or where the line is, go to betonline.net because that's your source for all your betting needs and sports info. And you can find out all the latest sports developments, league reviews, all kinds of info because they also give you information in case you are maybe someone who's new to this and kind of jumping into betting. They have podcasts that will help you with this information as well. Or let's just say it's week 0 for college football. There are actually games being played starting tonight in college football. And one of them is right here in Atlanta. That's Howard University and Alabama State University in the MEAC SWAC Challenge on Saturday. Want to put some money on the SWAC possibly finally getting a dub in that challenge because they haven't in a couple years. You want to know about it? A website like betonline.net might just be able to help you. So, of course, always stop by online ATL Day Ones first, and then your second stop, make it betonline.net because that is where the game starts.
Yes, indeed. And we'll see whether or not Deion Jones will be starting on Saturday night against the Jacksonville Jaguars. I've had some very interesting comments to say about Deion Jones and his return to the team. He doesn't seem all too excited about it, T. I can tell you that much. But I think one of the things that I thought was interesting that he said is that he's basically going to have to compete for a spot. And Jones was asked about that after practice yesterday, and basically he said, hey, I have to compete for a spot every year I've been on this team. And he said, I'm cool with that. It is what it is. See, that's the one thing about certain players. Like, they'll give you the standard stereotypical answer to something like that, but you already know that it's something there when they end it with, it is what it is. It's something with this situation. It's more to it than what we see yesterday because we already know that I know Deion Jones pretty well. I'm not saying I know him personally, but I know how he is when it comes to certain things. And I think that he's taking this personally. I think he feels like he has something to prove. And I think Arthur Smith feels like, hey, we don't need you. And I think they're just kind of playing nice until something gets done.
Yeah, and you absolutely have to play nice because you need to get him on the field so that you can showcase that he is indeed healthy to potentially trade him away. That's just the reality of the situation. And Arthur Smith is one who does not pull punches. He's very direct with the media when he can be, and other times he'll just let you know if he can't speak on it. So the fact that he spoke on that being a competition and, hey, Deion, come out there and basically show me what you got, and he's probably going to be playing the game Saturday. I thought that was interesting as well because I'm like, okay, let's look at the other stalwart on defense, the other veteran. Did anybody say Grady Jarrett? Let me show you Show us what you got. No.
Hell no.
Okay. Did anybody say there was competition for Grady's job?
Hell no.
And yet, all of a sudden, there's competition in the linebacker room for Debo.
Yeah.
I think not. But like you said, I believe whether he's going to want to show his worth in case the Falcons retain him, or whether he's going to show his worth elsewhere, maybe Dallas. Definitely, I feel like Deion Jones. And again, it's not that he can't land anywhere. It's not that he's not still a viable player. It just doesn't fit in this system. But on that same token, A, I can see why my homeboy would take it personally. And B, I can see why he displayed that. But C, those words, it is what it is, speaks volumes. Because usually Deion Jones is very vanilla in his commentary. And that to me was not a vanilla statement.
Not at all. I mean, you have to understand it from where he's coming from. Hey, I'm a $20 million linebacker, a $20 million a year linebacker. Like, yeah, I'm gonna play nice, but best believe I'm gonna do me. And I don't have you don't have to send me a message. I think that's kind of what that says to me if I'm interpreting it the right way. Now, one last quick thing on this. I thought it was kind of interesting. Deion was asked about whether or not he was gonna play special teams, and will he be okay with that? And he was like, I'm perfectly fine. And he just left it like that. I'm just like, T, I don't know about you, but like this just reeks of it was too perfect of a press conference yesterday. And I think that there's something there, and I think what we thought this was is exactly what it is.
Agreed, because he didn't really answer the question. He just said, I'm perfectly fine, which sounded to me like, I'm just here so I won't get fined. I'm just here so
y'all gonna have to pay me if y'all keep me.
There you go. That's what I heard. Now, don't get me wrong. Jarvis and I are not speaking for the Falcons organization, but Jarvis didn't ask me about them. He asked me what I thought. And that's
Yes, indeed. And last but not least, before we move on, we got to talk about Ryan Howard officially being named the Rookie of the Year. T, I don't know about you, but I am not surprised at all about this.
ATL, hit the gritty for your girl. You know Ryan Howard loves to hit the gritty after a win. So this is huge for her. Of course, she got the nod from the AP a couple weeks ago. Excited. But, I mean, listen, 4 straight Rookie of the Months. What do you expect?
Yeah, what else is there? Yeah.
But more importantly, Jarvis, I think it's an exciting time for the Dream organization. She is one of the main reasons that they trended up and really exceeded expectations this year. And also, you look at what she was able to do. We know from covering all the sports in this city that the number one pick does not always pan out to be who you thought he or she was going to be. This one is the real deal.
Yes, she's the real deal. And we've been hearing a lot of conversations about Desmond Ridder potentially being a real deal, but Arthur Smith has some very interesting comments to say about his rookie quarterback. We'll turn on our translators again. Don't go anywhere. This is ATL Day Ones with Jarvis and T. We'll be right back.